Good day, and I hope this video finds you well. This one is about my research into certain things about what some people call truth and what others call conspiracy. My name is Nolen-John Zander. The reason why I use that name is because it is mine. Because it is a fact according to English grammar rules. The colon represents the family of, or of the, right? So Nolen-John is my name. Some people call it first name, middle name. But as it needs to be hyphenated to be a fact. You cannot have two facts next to each other, because the previous fact turns into a modification of the second fact, which makes the first fact non-fact and makes the second fact non-truth, because you're modifying the truth. Some people call it noun. Breaking down the word noun into two syllables, N-O means no, U-N means no. That is called Parse-Syntax. The rules that I follow belong to Russell J. Gould, Russell-J. Gould, for the Parse-Syntax technology grammar. Why is this important? Because law is contract. Contract is written word. Written word is controlled by grammar. Russell J. Gould found, discovered, came up with, whichever way you want to talk about it, but I will not say invented. The language of English is the language of the business world. The worldwide business language is English. English is the most difficult language to learn because of all the definitions. When you have 14 to 16 sub-definitions for one word in Webster's dictionary, that word, let's say it's just 10, right? For one word. How many words are in the sentence? Let's say there's 10 words per sentence at 10 definitions per word. What does its sentence actually mean? What could it mean? How can it be interpreted? Which is one of the reasons it's important to define the words in your contract, which nobody does, right? And the definitions need to be in the beginning of the contract. Russell-J. Gould and his technology that was developed with himself and David-Wynn Miller, who has been assassinated. He's dead now. God rest his soul. David-Wynn Miller has a lot of followers. The technology no longer belongs to those individuals. It belongs to Russell. He is the holder of the flag. The law of the flag can be explained at lastmanstanding.com. You can all go there and check that out. But the reason why I do this is because of those rules, the very, very little that I do know. But I do know English. I know I failed English because it didn't make sense. And now this stuff is the reason why I failed. Because it didn't make sense because it wasn't proper. A pronoun modifies the noun, which means it modifies a fact, which means it's perjury, which means it's a lie. When you have a pronoun that has several definitions and then you have the noun which has a couple of definitions, now you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't have a fact anymore. You're committing perjury in front of the judge. So now you're babbling. The judge fully understands that you have no competency, and now the judge can do and rule whichever way, because you have been deemed incompetent in the court. And you are there to get resolution as an incompetent entity. So how shall the judge rule? Well, that question can be answered by who paid the bond? What kind of ring, what kind of symbol is the prosecuting attorney wearing compared to the defense attorney? Attorney, to attorn, A-T-T-O-U-R-N. What does that mean? To turn over to. You're a slave rebelling, and they're turning you back over to the slave master, which is the system. Look it up. Do not use Webster's dictionary. Use Black's Law Dictionary if you're in America. And oh, by the way, why is it that Black's Law Dictionary has all the kings and queens of England on the inner covers of the hardback book? Why is the Bar Association headquartered in England when we have a bar association for each state within, or I'd say above, the United States? Whom did they swear their allegiance to? Are they committing treason when they walk into that room? Are they committing treason against the American people because they swore an allegiance to a foreign entity, fleecing your trust? I use this name to state fact, but does it go along with happiness? It does go along with happiness because I link the truth to happiness directly. Being happy means, to me, that you're happy about everything about yourself. In order to find your happiness, you have to be truthful with yourself. Now, this is outside of you, right? I keep telling you, hey, look inside. Happiness comes from the inside. But I believe that you need to understand or comprehend what the system is doing to you so that you better understand or comprehend the situations that are being presented to you for your learning of this reality called Earth. So you're a student here. You signed up to come here to this planet, this reality, at this time, to experience things that you cannot experience in the other higher dimensions. Part of the rules to that is you forget. Even when you do get some sort of download from the higher ups, unless you write it down immediately, you'll forget it. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. Then you go to the bathroom and you go, I can't remember my idea. Because it's a law of the universe that you signed up for through contract to say, I'll agree to this. Right? Can you figure it out? It's a game. Quantum physics states that it's more likely that we are in a simulation than an actual what we would call reality. Quantum physics. Scientific methodologies. This channel is also about bridging science and spirituality. I'm not just talking out my butt. Right? There's scientific evidence to prove more than likely this is a reality, just like the metaverse that they're trying to create. Right? People going to jack in, plug in. More than likely it's going to be the poor folk because they ain't got nothing better to do. They get a free system. They get a free jack in. They can earn money playing video games. Right? That's how they'll think of it. But they're going to be in the metaverse going to work, building stuff in the new metaverse-ality. I won't say reality because I don't agree with that. Meanwhile, back at the farm, where I will be growing crops and doing my own thing without pesticides and without the help of the world, which makes me a conspiracy theorist, a rebel, and I don't know if I want to say terrorist or not. So, a few items that I want to bring into your attention, just for you to do your own research. Even you very well may be in a different country. If you have access to the internet because you're watching this video, you can look it up. Okay. Go to Cornell University, law place. Look under 534 Federal Supplement 724. The United States is a corporation. That's the definition of the United States. Title 28 U.S. Code, subsection 3002, section 15A, states that the United States is a federal corporation and not a government, including the judiciary procedural section. It is well settled that the United States et al. Is a corporation originally incorporated February 21, 1871 under the name District of Columbia, and that is in 16 Statute 419, Chapter 62. Senate Report 93-549 and Executive Orders 6072, 6102, and 6246. The United States is a corporation. The United States Corporation was recognized June 11th, 1878 as a bankrupt organization per House Joint Resolution 192 on 5 June 1933. In order to operate in bankruptcy to keep the company going, there has to be certain things that have to take place. Credit becomes debt. Debt becomes credit. Credit is a positive, and debt or debit is a negative to the system. Words mean things, people, and not the definitions that you read out of Black's Law Dictionary, not the definitions that you read out of Webster's Dictionary. Parse-Syntax grammar. Break down the word for the syllables of the word to find out what the word actually means. Period. Not what somebody else says. Who the hell is Webster to tell me what a word means? That's a general consensus based on what somebody believes is the best way. Who is Webster working for when he created that book? He wasn't a poor man. Paper was hard to come by back then. Where did he get his education from? Who told him the definitions of these words? Yes, a tax. A tax definition is a tax is a contribution that is imposed. Now, if you break that down, a contribution is a gift. Imposed means it's forced. So a tax, by its own definition, is a forced gift. How does that work for you? These are the things that are going to be discussed on the website choosetobesovereign.com, which is up and coming. Right now I don't have any products out there, of course. It's going to be a forum to have a chat on several different subjects, such as let's see, I just wrote that shit down yesterday. The tax, court, the travel versus driving section. The sovereignty paperwork, child support, a few other things that the topics I've just mentioned, plus a few others which I have yet to come up with, but are going to be along those same lines. I think there is one about diplomatic immunity, how to get your passport set properly. Now, most of these things are going to be through the United States system, but other countries are going to have similar laws. It's just that my resources are through the United States, and quite honestly, that's a lot of material to go through. You should be able to find similar documents in other countries worldwide because it all operates off of the central bank system. But anyways, this is the truth section that I have seen. Now, also, please understand, conspiracy means one or two or more people discussing a thing, right? So when you're conspiring, you are talking with somebody about something. So if you're at a cafe having coffee and you're discussing the weather, you're conspiring. That is the truthful definition of conspiracy. Okay? A theory is what scientists do. They research things. They have an idea. So the idea that the sun will rise tomorrow is a theory. So when you talk about the weather or what's going to bring for tomorrow, you're conspiring about a theory of something that has yet to happen. The term conspiracy theory was coined for the John F. Kennedy assassination through the Central Intelligence Agency. Now, why is it that they coined this term unless they're trying to cover something up? By making it some sort of evil or terrible term to be used against the people. To call you ignorant. What is it? You don't trust the government? Why do I need to trust the government? The government works for me. Period. That's what it states. At least in the 2 or 3 constitutions, whichever number you want to use today. Bill of Rights. Those are your rights. The Constitution is a debt instrument. Go look up the term constitutor, the one who writes a constitution. You will find is one who settles a debt. So the Constitution of the United States is a trust instrument. Some things for you to look up, some things for you to ponder upon. Go ahead and like this if you do. We'll have more stuff on this. But the reason why I used my name after that fashion is because of Russell J. Gould and his technology. If you want to follow that, go to lastflagstanding.com, click around there, and he'll tell you what his theories are and tell you what his truth is, and see if you agree with it. I'm not getting any money for this. It's my job, or it's my idea to get the information to you because you're too busy working your ass off for the man and his yacht. You guys be happy. Find happiness in everything. Happy that you find this channel. Happy that you click on the like button. Seriously. Happiness is a state of mind. You're just going to find it in the little things. Because you turn little things into big things that have no true effect on you. And you allow the government to keep you in fear. There's books out there that say, like, don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. It is all small stuff. What you focus on is what your reality is. Now, the story about the 2 wolves that whisper in your ear. Which one's going to win? The one that you feed the most. The one that you focus on the most. The one that you give the most attention to is the winner, which is usually a negative because we're mostly in survival mode. Even if you're making $30,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. If you're making $150,000 a year, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. because you have to pay for that Mercedes. You have to pay for that bigger house. Different economic numbers mean that you have larger economic payments. So the person that makes $250,000 a year compared to the person that makes $20,000 a year, there is really no difference except for the goodies that you have. Both can be sad, both can be living in survival mode, and both can be perfectly happy. Fitting in with the Joneses or competing against the Joneses or your neighbor down the street because he's got the newer model Mercedes and you have one that's 2 years old. Well, shoot, I need him to go out and get another car because his is newer than mine. He's got this extra bell or whistle on it. His rims look different. I don't have spinners like he does. I will leave you to contemplate and do some research for your own good. Find out what things mean. Find out why your name is in all capital letters and what does that mean. Because that's how the system labels you, as an all capital letter thing. If you don't believe me, look at your identification card. Why is it all capital letters? Look for another video or go to the website, choosetobesovereign.com, where we're going to have these types of discussions and blog postings so that you folks can learn quite a bit more about truth, about sovereignty, and about the matrix. I won't say that this particular one about the laws and what they or them or who or whatever is doing to you. That's just part of the matrix. Right? Matrix comes in layers. This is just the law side of it. There are 4 bodies. You have your physical body, right? You have your mental body, yeah. You have your emotional body. You have your spiritual body. So there are many layers to this matrix that we are in. Just because you think that you have all the answers, you don't. There's plenty of other unwritten or unseen contracts that we are a party to because we play the game. You carry around a card that grants you access to money. You carry around a card that has your name on it, which is a form of identification. Identification, what does that mean? The definition means to make the same as. So you're saying that you're the same as a piece of plastic with a bunch of ink on it. That's what you're saying. Give me your identification. Let me see some identification. Now they got you because you're a corporation. Well, I shall stop rambling. Truth is what Choose to Be Sovereign is about. Finding happiness, well, that's what the 9elementsministry.com is going to be about. 9 is in the number 9, elementsministry.com. They're not up yet. I'm still working on those. I'm having a little problem getting 9 elements up properly. But I'll have to talk to some folks about that. Stay tuned. Click the like button. Go over and check out those websites. Or stay tuned so that you know when you can go to those websites because it's not up yet. I'll let you know. You guys have a fabulous day, fabulous weekend, fabulous life. Be happy. And stand in honor, stand in truth.